no means not now. You will kind of hear many no's in life. You will have failures, like CAT for example, nahi clear hoga first time, or IIT mein hota hai, nahi hua. And in a startup journey, you will go to 100 investors and 90 of them will say no, ki we won't fund you. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, what background you have, most of the people will say no. uh, and the way to interpret that no is not now, maybe abhi nahi hai, but sometime in the future you can still do it.
Can you tell us about some of your memorable projects during the McKinsey days? And how long did you spend in McKinsey?
So I was there for more than 6 years, like 6 years 3 months.
Okay,
A long
so
time.
that's a pretty long time. So,
Yeah.
how was the experience? Full time working internship. Obviously, you told us about that. But in terms of working there full time, what all parts of the world did you get to travel? What kind of companies or sectors did you specialize in? And generally, memorable days. Big learnings. Anything you'd like to share?
Got it. So McKinsey was a crazy ride, like throughout the 6 years. What happens is generally initial couple of years you will do diverse kind of projects. 3 months you will do one sector. Next 3 months you might do pharma. Uske 3 mahine baad you might do banking, and then you might be in a mine in a god-forsaken place. Like Jhasugoda mein, there was this one mine, and we used to kind of go there. I didn't go there, but like some of my friends went there. But that's how generally the first 2 years in consulting kind of pan out. You experience different industries, different problem statements, and work with different people to figure out what you really want to do in McKinsey. And third year onwards, you kind of choose a stream, either banking or pharma or something else. So for me, first 2 years was I worked a lot with banking clients and pharma clients. Liked actually both, but somehow kind of got more opportunity to work more with banking people. So kind of that really panned out. I worked in banking, one of the countries in Southeast Asia, to help create their 5-year plan. And this project was funded by Japan. So I was there. So the way it used to work out was 2 weeks we were in Japan, 1 week we were in this country, small country. So that's how kind of a month. So every week I used to go to, like, Sunday evening I used to go to Tokyo from Mumbai. Monday morning reach there, go to office. Till Friday I was in office. Sometimes I used to come back Friday night to India, and then again go back Sunday evening to there. So it was very different, very fun kind of project. Reason being, it was so I had, my manager was from Turkey. My One of my teammates was Chinese. I was Indian. There was one more, I think from US or something. So we had very multicultural type of team, working in Tokyo, which is a very different environment, culture altogether. Like, people work very different in Japan compared to the way we work in India. Like India mein, whenever you work with anyone, all that matters is output. Ki ha kaam, like iska impact kya hai wo batao. And wahan pe all that mattered was process. Like, show us the 10 steps you did. Like, we won't even talk about the output. Just show me the process that you followed. That was a different kind of working style. So got to work across different geographies. There was another project I did in Thailand. So was there for a year. And McKinsey has this very interesting policy where either every week you can come back to India, or you can travel somewhere else, like equal amount of money mein. So that 1 year I got to kind of explore all of Southeast Asia. So weekends I used to go to Cambodia, then I went to Vietnam, Hong Kong, Indonesia. So just kind of traveled a lot, explored multiple places. That was fun part. So this is all on the non-work wala part, but work-wise also, like, work with one of the banks in India to launch their whole complete digital offering. I think one of the biggest projects we ever did out of McKinsey. I was there with these clients across 3 separate projects on like 3 years. So completely kind of transforming what they did, which was again just working with the chairman of the bank and kind of seeing the journey from where they started to where they ended. Just phenomenal, the kind of work I got to do there. So overall, McKinsey was, I think, that's the place where I learned the most till now. Like, every year, every project, someone or the else always used to push your thinking, the way you talk with people, the way you analyze a problem, just everywhere. And people are so invested in your learning. There's this feedback culture that's there in McKinsey where uh, people will actually actively set up a feedback call or discussion with you every 2 weeks where they will give you very constructive, actionable feedback. Abhishek, you are doing these 3-4 things really well. Please double down, and this is how you can kind of do those things better. These 3-4 things might not be so good, so yahan pe kuch, like, this is how you can potentially fix it. And having someone so much invested in your growth, your development, really makes a difference. Generally in life what happens is you learn by your own mistakes कि हाँ कुछ तो कभी कभी खुद को समझ में आ जाता है कि oh, this is something I can do better, and it happens by chance. Like, you don't actively invest in your learning.
And why did you decide to then? Why didn't you end up staying there until you became partner, or why did you move out of McKinsey?
So what happened was, initial few years it was every 6 months kuch to naye, like, it was very new learning environment. Either you are working on a bigger problem, more diverse problem. Second, third year, say you become associate, you take ownership of your complete work stream. Then you become a manager, so you kind of try and develop a new skill set itself. Like, I became manager early, so 3.5 years. So 2018, I became manager, and I had like team of 15 people or so when I kind of made it. So just it was a very good learning atmosphere itself. But after a point in time, it like, as you get promoted, end of the day, it's all about sales. Like, how many projects you can get, how many clients you can potentially acquire. Till you are manager, it's all about problem solving. कि ये problem है, go and figure out why it is happening and what can you potentially do to solve it. And after that, it's more about sales. Like, how do you convince a client to kind of come on board. I didn't really want to do that. And second thing that happened was, like, somehow I got sidetracked from my original goal in life. कि मुझे खुद को कुछ करना है. Like, I want to start something of my own. So I used to kind of give a lot of ज्ञान, so to say, कि अच्छा ये कर लो, like, this is my advice and this is what you can potentially do to increase your, or like, improve your operations or so on and so forth. After a point in time, it was not that satisfying telling someone else to do XYZ when I think I could have kind of done it better. Or मैं खुद क्यों नहीं करूँ अगर ये कर सकते. Like, if I can tell someone else you can do things better, why can't I start something of my own and kind of do it? So that's where kind of the change happened. I wanted to kind of go into a real world environment where working inside a company and building that company out rather than just advising other companies on how to do things. And that's what kind of led to the shift. So yeah, decided to kind of, and this was COVID times. So all of us were working from home. And the best part about McKinsey was working with very smart people. And when you're working from home, working on Zoom, I think the experience is not same at all. It's not fulfilling नहीं होता है इतना. It's just patchy experience. So I think that was another reason why it happened कि ठीक है थोड़ा और कुछ करना है. So that's when I kind of decided to make the switch outside.
So tell us about what is it that you did after that, and how did that come about, and why do you do what you do?
So what happened was, around that point in time, a lot of these recruiters, kind of, actually even before that, recruiters used to always come out, ki, Acha, this is some role or offering there, would you want to interview and stuff. So I was generally giving some interviews, ki, and even before I finally decided to move out, I used to just give interviews, ki, chalo practice ho jayegi, aur kuch hai to market mein kya hai wo pata chal jayega. So I used to give this, and then one day this recruiter called me and he said ki, Mukesh Bansal is basically looking for a chief of staff. He has recently joined Tata, and would you want to kind of interview with him? I said, okay, wow. Like, even if like, I don't know if I want to do the job or not, or like kind of do like do I want to join Tata or not? But definitely, if I'm getting a chance to kind of even talk to Mukesh, like, very good. Like, ये तो opportunity लेना चाहिए. And that first kind of conversation led to multiple other conversations. I decided to kind of move out. So that's how the shift really happened. So I joined Tata, where I think most of you would have seen the advertisements, and also Tata New is the product we launched there. Where idea was we wanted a super app for everything, so you can have medicines, electronics, groceries, all inside one app itself, and like bound through a loyalty program. So that's what I did for almost 1.5 years. And then when Mukesh decided to kind of start a venture studio, which is where I work right now, I decided to kind of move from Tata to Meraki Labs. So right now I'm at Meraki Labs. What we do here is we kind of build companies from scratch on areas or ideas where we have some conviction. So that's what we do right now. Currently, I'm working on a Gen AI startup where we are looking to kind of build something in this space on top of LLMs. So yeah, that's what we are exploring and figuring out.
What is it that you've learned from Mukesh Bansal that you can share with us?
Long-term thinking. What happens is generally you take a lot of short-term decisions in life. Uh, like वो होता है कि अच्छा 2 साल में where will I reach? Lot of people after kind of McKinsey also when we leave we are कि अच्छा strategy role कर लेंगे 2 साल में फिर we will take a P&L business role and maybe grow from there. Or it might be कि maybe I will work with this company for 2 years and then I might get a like 40-50% hike if I change jobs, and that's how you change like 4 or 5 jobs. I think that's a traditional way of kind of thinking. I think one of the things I've learned from him is think very long term. Like compounding happens slowly, but it gives you tremendous amounts of results if you stick to something for a very long period of time. I think you would have read this online also, like like if you improve 1% every day, you will be like 35 times what like compared to where you started. Just focusing on improving yourself or whatever you're doing every day and sticking to it for a long period of time. Be it learning something. What happens is, like I started learning, let's say Gen AI, I started reading about it. Generally what happens is after maybe 1 or 2 months you will get bored and you will leave it, and that's where compounding stops. But what I've seen him do is if he picks up something, he kind of is with that thing for a long period of time, and that's what really kind of leads to compounding and like disproportionate results. One of his other principles is he has this kind of no means not now. You will kind of hear many no's in life. You will have failures, like cat for example, nahi clear hoga first time, or IIT mein hota hai nahi hua. And in a startup journey you will go to 100 investors and 90 of them will say no, ki we won't fund you. Like it doesn't matter who you are, what background you have, most of the people will say no. And the way to interpret that no is not now, maybe abhi nahi hai, but sometime in the future you can still do it. And generally what happens is once you hear some no, you kind of take it on your own thing and you stop there. But that's the other thing he does really well. Even if doesn't matter some obstacle, someone says no, you still stick to it, and somehow somewhere down the line it happens.